Here, let me hear you go wild for Chris McDade. Woo!
I've always wondered what it sounded like when George Bush left the country. But enough of the anti-Bush stuff, plenty of that to come, I'm sure. But one of the things I have noticed is we do odd things when we're at home nowadays. We've got cordless phones and mobile phones, and you'll answer your phone, and before you know it, you'll just be thinking, why did I come into this room? And it's very confusing, but I just find myself sitting in the dark, and then you actually forget you're talking to the person. But not here to talk about telephones. I do like my technology though. I'm a bit of a geek. And so let's skip and rope this. Let's put it over here. And just lost my own train of thought. Excellent, well done me. Yes, use the geeks. There was a story in the papers recently, I'm sure you've probably all seen it, about the kids in Wales that have all been committing suicide, and it's a bit of a dark story, and it's a shame, but the headline, the sensationalist headlines in the newspapers, internet death cult. And you think, that's not right, it's nothing to do with the internet, all these technologies and things getting the blame. It's just I thought, if I had to live in Wales, I'd do the same. But maybe it was. They just got the internet. They live in the valleys. They've just got digital phone lines, and they're trying to set up the internet. So they're sitting down at their desk and they're thinking, right, got my modem, got my letter with a password on it, which looks like a Polish surname. I don't know how they can ever type them in. And the most important thing to be able to get through setting up your broadband is a bottle of vodka. So thanks one person. So they eventually maybe get it set up, but if they're anything like myself, they'll probably try about 19 times to type in their password, and they're looking at it going, who actually comes up with these passwords? They have to have about 19 characters in them, at least 2 numbers, neither of which can be Paris Hilton's IQ. And none of the letters could have been used on today's episode of Countdown. Which is a shame if you're not a student, because you'll obviously never catch it nowadays that it's on early. But eventually you'll give in, and you think, oh, this is too hard, I'm going to have to do something. It's about as easy as trying to keep Amy Winehouse off drugs, I think. And nobody likes her, it's always good for a laugh. Even Pete Doherty doesn't like her, which is weird. That wasn't even meant to be there. Yeah, so you phone up the technical support, and you always get the idiot. It doesn't matter where they are, whether they're in Scotland or India or Wales. I've never actually had a technical support person from Wales, so we'll let them off there. I was just trying to get another dig in. I don't like the Welsh, I don't know why. Yeah, so you get the idiot on the end of the phone, and you're like, I've got a problem with broadband. And well, this isn't mine for telephone, which we all know, but we don't have one for call centres, so we'll have to invent something like that the opposite way around, because I'm not going to try and impersonate somebody in a call centre. Used to work in one, not fun, nobody wants to be made fun of. But you phone up, you say, I've got a problem with my broadband. Say, oh, can I just take some details, please? Yeah, sure, certainly. Yeah. Okay. What's your name? Okay, it's Chris McDade. Obviously not Welsh, good Irish name, but... so they say, can you spell that? I think, of course I can, I'm not an idiot. I'm only having problems setting up my broadband. So eventually you either give in because they know less than you, or you actually get the problem sorted out. And then these kids have all got onto the internet, hopefully, and there's also been a lot of them have committed suicide, but some of them must have got on. They've all been on Bebo, or one of the social networking sites that apparently is the cause of all evil nowadays, and it's causing all these people to kill themselves. And the investigators, which I've forgotten about earlier on, but we'll go back to it. The investigators looking into this have said that there's no commonality in 18 people that have died. I don't know, they're all dead, and that's a pretty big common factor. So I forgot the last bit now because that was out of order. Yeah, so there's 18 of them dead, but some of them haven't died, and you've got to think they must have got frustrated. Maybe they've felt, oh, that's not fair, all my friends have gone, or the internet's just not what it's cracked up to be. There's just not enough porn on it. Yeah, it's got to be a lie, isn't it? So eventually they say, I've had enough. I'm going to do it. I'm going to join the club, and they're looking around, and they've got one. The only thing they can see, they've either got a choice of their school tie or their Ethernet cable. So they figured, the modem, it's done it to me, it's driven me to it. So they just climb up in their chair and they've got the Ethernet cable round their neck, and I don't know what they tie it to. The light fixtures aren't going to be that secure, but so they eventually they just jump and they land on the ground. Damn it! I knew I shouldn't have spent the £5 on the longer cable. Thank you. This has obviously been my first gig, but you have been the best audience I've had so far, so thank you very much.
Chris McDade, everybody!